call the meeting of the Wyomissing Zoning Hearing Board to order. We're here today to hear from Mr. Greg Edelman on behalf of his clients, Berkshire Square Condominium Association LLC and Berkshire Square Investors LLC, owners of a property located at 1149 Berkshire Boulevard and identified as tax parcel, which I won't read, is requesting a variance from section 606C2, 606C3, 606C4, 606C5, and 606C6 signs from the Borough of Wyomissing zoning ordinance. Property is located in a C2 retail zoning. Property is identified as the Berkshire Square Shopping Center, is located in the northeast side of the intersection of Stateville Road and Berkshire Boulevard. Property is developed as a shopping center with multiple retail and restaurant tenants. Applicant will be constructing a Panda Express fast food restaurant with an associated drive-through. The applicant has presented a sign package for the fast food restaurant, which includes wall signage, menu board signage, directional signage, and drive-through signage. Applicant is requesting a variance from the above sections signs to allow more than 100 square feet of signage for the proposed restaurant. Proposed sign package provides for 231.92 square feet of signage. Applicant is requesting a variance from section 606C3 signs to allow more than one sign to face any one street. This was historically been interpreted by the borough to allow one sign to face each direction, that is north, south, east, and west. The proposed sign package site plan allows 3 signs facing west, 3 signs facing east, and 3 signs facing south. 2 of the signs facing east and south are visible from both directions. Applicant is requesting a variance from 606C4 signs to allow a sign attached to a building wall to have a height of more than 10 feet. The variance is not required in this section as none of the proposed signs will be taller than 10 feet in height. Applicant is requesting a variance from 606C5 signs to allow more than one freestanding sign to face the street. Proposed sign package shows a freestanding drive-through clearance bar and directional sign facing west and menu board trucks board facing south and east. The applicant has requested a variance from 606C6 to allow a sign attached to the building wall to contain the logo, not the pogo, the logo for Panda Express. It would be a leap, wouldn't it?
That'd be a very high pogo.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. This section states the sign consisting of open lettering attached to the building shall include only the name of the business or industry to which it applies and shall face the street. The logo sign installed in the east elevation wall will not be facing the street. The logo signs installed in east and south elevation walls both contain the company logo and the name of the restaurant. That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
Well done. Well done.
yeah, except for the pogo. You all have been here before, so you know all the players.
Yes.
At this end of the table, and that means that I can just turn it over to Mr. Becker to explain what we're going to get done today.
Right, I'll keep my comments brief. Since you were here just recently, it was only a couple of months ago that you were here, and I believe there is no one from the public other than Mr. Jadik who comes to all of our meetings. He's heard this speech many times as well. So again, the burden of proof is yours. You have the opportunity to present witnesses and documentary evidence today. At the conclusion of the presentation of all of your evidence, the board will take a brief recess in executive session to decide your case. Typically, we'll render our oral decision today and a written decision within 45 minutes. Do you have any questions about the procedure that we'll proceed under?
No questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Edelman, then
Yes.
your witnesses should be sworn.
Yes, please. Good afternoon. For the record, Greg Edelman here on behalf of the applicant. I have here with me this afternoon Mr. Ryan Whitmore. He is the project engineer. I also have with me this afternoon, I don't know if I just said this afternoon, I'm so used to the evening, Billy Newton from Panda Express Restaurants. If they could both be sworn, although I only intend to call Mr. Whitmore on direct.
All right.
And please swear Ms. Barrett at the same time.
All right. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're here this afternoon to talk about the Panda Express restaurant signage. This board recently approved a drive-through component for the Panda Express, and we're here back now for the sign package. I have with me this afternoon Mr. Whitmore. I have his resume and CV that I've marked as Exhibit A1. I have it in a packet, I guess I can just hand it up.
Sure.
And I'd ask that the board accept Mr. Whitmore as an expert in civil engineering based upon his licensure and qualifications on his resume and CV. I believe the board accepted him at the last hearing as well as an expert in the same field.
He hasn't changed since we saw him last time.
That's correct. He's still current in all of his certifications.
I'm a few months older.
Other than getting an engineering degree from Penn State, it seems pretty good.
Already?
So I'd like to call a new witness.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. I'd like to hand up a packet of plans that I've marked as Exhibit A2.
Greg, you just want to hold for a second, give just for a moment, just to mark it. Are you okay?
I gotta wait.
Oh,
Greg, do you have one more, Pat?
yeah, you don't need this. Do you?
Okay.
Oh, do you, I'm sorry, we do, we have enough, I'm sorry.
Plenty.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, I just couldn't count.
That's fine. Ready? Just for the record, what I've marked as Exhibit A2 is a collection of 11 by 17 plan sheets and sign renderings in connection with the application prepared by Land Corps Engineering Consultants, PC, dated, looks like March 1, 2021, with a revision date of, that looks like May 29th, 2021. 25th, 2021. I guess briefly, Mr. Whitmore, just for the record, can you please again tell the board what your involvement is with respect to the subject application?
So we, in support of the applicant, or in support of the application, we had prepared not only the land development plans and assisted with the preparation of the zoning application that was submitted to the board. And then together with others from my firm and on the applicant's team, we had compiled the exhibits that are before you in A2.
Okay, and these exhibits highlight the proposed sign package for the Panda Express restaurant, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so it's a rendered site plan that has the landscape improvements shown on it, superimposed on top of an aerial photograph. And then there are individual details that follow the right and bottom sides of the page that are illustrated details of the exact sign package details that were included with the zoning application that's before you today.
Okay, and just so the board's aware, is the plan that appears on the first sheet of A2 SP1 generally the same land development plan or site plan that the board saw at the prior application?
Yes, it is.
And have there been some minor design changes?
Very minor.
All right. So if you could please just walk the board through using the first sheet, SP1, the proposed signage and generally where it's located on the building, and then we'll go into the rest of the plan sheets and you can provide the board with some additional information. So,
Sure. And so we have the reduced copies, the 11 by 17s that are on the handouts, and then also on the screen here, that's a black and white version of of the reduced size rendered plan that's included in the handouts. So as you can see, the layouts are almost identical. And the from a signage perspective, the sign package is really a combination of wall-mounted signs, freestanding signage. Really, just the freestanding signage is to support the operation of the drive-through, and then the wall-mounted signs are the wall-mounted signs. So there's one wall-mounted sign one on each side of the building.
and if you could use a laser pointer. Oh, well, that might be easier too. And just point out where in the package you're describing it. I think what was just put up on the screen is the third sheet in Exhibit A2 in case anyone on the board wants to follow up. Go ahead.
So first, talking about wall signage. So the site plan, which is in the upper left-hand corner of this site plan, the wall-mounted signs are noted as A, B, C, and D. So there's one wall-mounted sign on each side of the building. So then you can refer to the right-hand side of that same plan. You can see sign A, which is the Panda Express channel letters. That is proposed on it's on the left side of the building. Can't remember exactly which north orientation. That's on the southwest side of the building. So you'll have one set of Panda Express channel letters on the southwest side of the building. And then on the three other sides of the building, you're going to have the Panda Express logo. And that's represented by sign B, C, and D. So as you can see, it's the Panda Express logo with the Panda Express Chinese kitchen text. Then moving on to the freestanding signs, they're really just to control the traffic flow and overall circulation of vehicles using the drive-through. There are a total of 5 drive-through freestanding signs. So if I am a car that's going to be, I'll call this main drive aisle in the front of the Panda Express, that's going to be your only access point to the drive-through. So if I turn into the drive-through lane, the first sign I come to is going to be the drive-through clearance height bar. So you can see a detail down on the bottom right-hand side. So you've got the clearance height, as well as the Panda Express placard. The second sign you're going to come to is going to be the order canopy. So that's identified as D2 on the exhibit. And then you can see that, that there's, it's on the detail, there's going to be the Panda Express family logo. And then you can't see it on this detail, but on the side of it, there's going to be a Panda Express detail for that as well. So if you flip to the first page in A2, yeah, we don't have it up on the screen, but it's in the handouts. On the first page of A2, there's sign order board detail number 6. It's on the right-hand side. So it's on the first page of the 11x17 handouts.
Right-hand side.
The right-hand side. It's detail number 6. There's the sign order board, and you can see that there's the Panda family logo, the round circle, the round white circle, and then on the side of the actual order canopy, there's an order here text placard. So those are the 2 signs associated with the order canopy. So now drawing your attention back up to the screen, which is also page 3 from A2. The next sign you come to is just going to be the digital order screen. So that's identified as D3 on the exhibit. And that's just going to be the illuminated digital screen that's going to project the menu. And then the final sign you come to is, so after you work through the drive-through, you order, you pick up the food at the drive-through window, and you actually physically go to exit the drive-through lane, there's going to be one final drive-through sign, really a directory sign. It's going to be dual-faced. So there's 2 sides that say 2 different things. On one side, it's going to say "Do not enter" for traffic control, and then on the other side, it's going to say "Thank you." So technically, that's considered 2 signs, and they contribute to the overall sign area. So overall, those 9 signs that I mentioned, the 4 wall-mounted signs, plus the 5 freestanding signs, in total, there's 9 signs proposed as part of the overall sign package for the Panda Express.
And Ryan, based on your testimony, am I correct to say that some of the signage is directional as opposed to business identification, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And I guess maybe if we continue to go through Exhibit A2 and go to the next page, you can see some of the renderings of the wall signs on the building.
That's correct.
So we're on the 4th sheet, page 4 of Exhibit A2. If you want to tell the board what's being depicted here and which signage is involved, please.
Yeah, so this is a sheet that was just explained. This, in addition to the next sheet in Exhibit A2, as well as what can be projected on the screen. It's 2 different views, kind of a 3D perspective of what the rendered Panda Express restaurant will look like once it's constructed. With the proposed signage, if we're lucky enough to gain the board's approval today. So as you can see, there's the Panda Express, the Panda logo is on 2 of the sides, and then on the other sheet.
Sheet
there's-
5 of A2.
Yeah, sheet 5 of A2 that shows the two Panda logos. And then if you flip back to sheet 4, that has the Panda Express channel letters on one facade, I guess that's the southern facade, and then the Panda logo right above the front door of the main entrance.
And with respect to these wall signs, the 3 Panda Express logos and the 1 channelized letter, what's permitted under the ordinance in terms of total area and what's being proposed?
So when a total of 100, so in total, all the signage, freestanding and wall mounted can be a total of 100 square feet. And but when you focus only on the wall mounted signs, you're permitted to have a wall sign up to 10% of the facade area. So the total square footage of each facade can be consumed by a sign. That's by code. Each of the individual wall-mounted signs are less than the 10%. So we're not here to seek relief of the size of the wall-mounted signs. The size of the total. So when you add up the area of each of the individual signs, all the wall signs plus the freestanding signs, that's in excess of the maximum permitted 100 square feet. So as noted in Ms. Baird's memo, she notes 231.92 square feet of signage is proposed in the application. Since we had submitted the application, we had revisited how we calculate sign area, and with how, Ms. Baird's memo is correct in reference to how we calculated it on the initial application. However, with taking a look at how the code interprets sign area or defines sign area, it's the rectangular area that encompasses only the letters on the sign, exclusive of the background. So if you recall, all the drive-through signage, it's the actual text that's mounted on a Trex board or on a brown background. The original application included the background, however, it shouldn't have. So the accurate calculation of sign area that we're requesting relief for, 100 square feet is a maximum of 100 square feet is permitted. The application proposes 197.95 square feet.
So 198.
198 square feet.
Okay. And back to my original question though, in terms of the wall signage, what's shown on each wall is less than what is permitted, correct?
That's correct. All right.
But we have them on all 4 sides, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and why do we need signage on all 4 sides? And maybe if we use the second sheet of Exhibit A2, it's the site plan, to answer that question, it might give some context.
Yeah, so really just the freestanding pad nature of the building. You've got visibility on all sides of the building. It's right in the middle of the regional shopping center. It has the three other freestanding pad buildings that have drive-throughs. The shopping center and the main parking field of the shopping center is really on the other side, opposite from the drive-through uses. So the freestanding pad nature of the development, visibility really from all 4 sides is critical, and the fact that there's a drive-through component of the Panda Express use, really warrants the need for that directory signage, similar to how Burger King, Tompkins Bank, Taco Bell operates, where as soon as you're approaching a drive-through and circulating through the drive-through, there's the appropriate signage just to really optimize the overall function of the drive-through use. So from a visibility perspective, when you look at the wall-mounted signs, really brand identification as well as kind of navigational wayfinding for anybody who's coming into the shopping center on the other side of the shopping center. Really identifying where you're trying to go is critical, especially when when there's the overall dynamics of the shopping center, the parking field. So from a use perspective, the sign application, in my opinion, is appropriate, given the pad nature of the building, as well as the drive-through use, which in order for it to function in today's marketplace and also in where it's located, it's appropriate to have the proposed freestanding signage that's proposed on the application.
And with respect to the wall signage, how is it illuminated?
It will be internally illuminated.
No light spread?
No.
I have nothing further from Mr. Whitmore.
The menu board, how big is that?
29.02 square feet.
29.2 square feet.
29.02 square feet.
The
I'm an
engineer.
engineer.
It makes a difference.
I am too, but I forgot about that one.
Oh.
Yeah, 29.
Yeah, programmed that way.
Yeah, all right. Now, the ordinance limits the number of signs because it makes sense to not have everything looking like a driver's jacket in the NASCAR. Or today some of the golf shirts are getting that bad too. So I'm not sure I heard you make a case for putting so many signs on the building.
I guess we can go back and go into that a little bit more on Exhibit A2, showing the location of the building and how drivers will be driving through the development, I'm sorry, the existing shopping center.
If I may add to the comment, as you go back through this, two things. One is, can you tell us, is there signage like this on the other commercial uses, the Burger King, the bank, and so forth? And I don't need you to answer that right now, your counsel can ask the question. And also address, and maybe they're related, but the signage to the streets, because that's, I think, also relief that you're requesting.
The signage in the streets?
So signage to facing the streets.
Oh, facing the streets, apologies. Yeah, well, that was where I was gonna go. If we go back to Exhibit A2, the second sheet, which is the overall site plan that everyone has in their packets. And Brian, if you can take us through how motorists travel through the shopping center and how they would identify the location of the Panda Express using one of the 4 wall signs in order to justify why they're needed. So take us one sign at a time, one direction at a time, if you can see that.
Yeah, so starting on the sign that faces the Burger King, which Burger King does have, there's 3, it actually has 4 Burger King logo signs with the actual channel letters. So the sign package that's proposed on the
Excuse me for just 1 second, while we're talking. So is there one on each side?
There's wall signs proposed on 3 of the 4
No,
Burger
no,
King.
on the Burger King, on the Burger King.
On the Burger King, there are 3 of the 4 signs, 3 of the 4 sides. However, the drive-through side that faces the Panda Express, that actually has two Burger King logo signs, as well as the channel letters, that identify the Burger King.
So Ryan, take us as you come into the shopping center, main entrance, and you're driving up the main drag, the main road, and you're approaching the Panda Express. What signage do you need? Where is it? What type is it?
So coming in from State Hill Road, you're gonna approach the Panda Express looking on your right-hand side. So you're gonna see the channel letters, the Panda Express channel letters, that will be really facing the main entrance from State Hill Road.
So if we look on the 4th page, okay, the channel letters are the ones located in the top left-hand corner of the proposed store, correct?
That's correct.
So is that the signage that would identify motoring public coming in where the store is located?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So then let's talk about the other entrance off of Berkshire Boulevard. Somebody's coming in through there. How would they see and what signage would they see to identify the Panda Express restaurant?
So the Panda Express, you'll approach it, it'll be coming up on your left-hand side. You're coming in from Berkshire Boulevard. And on those two, approaching from that angle, you're gonna see the Panda Express logo on the two sides of the building that are facing that main access drive off of Berkshire Boulevard.
Okay, so that on page 4 would be the Panda Express over the door. And then on page 5, it would be the Panda Express on the left-hand side, which is really the back of the building.
That's correct.
All right. When you are coming from the other side of the shopping center, okay, by the LA Fitness, and you're coming towards either the Berkshire Boulevard or State Hill Road access, what signage would you see in order to identify the building?
So flip into page 5. So you'll see the Panda Express logo. That will be right above the pickup window of the drive-through.
And that would be on the right-hand side of what appears on page 5.
That's correct.
Now, without the other signage, meaning the 2 signs on the corner on page 5, a motorist driving somewhere from within the shopping center, would they be able to identify the restaurant if they didn't know it was there?
No,
Okay, so there'd be no other identification, is that correct?
that's correct.
All right, so when you had testified that these extra signs were needed for wayfinding, is that what you're referring to, wayfinding within the shopping center?
That's correct.
Okay. With respect to the other 2 users in that out parcel area, are you aware of what signage they have?
Yes, I am.
Okay, if you could tell the board what's currently on the other buildings in terms of signage other than the burger.
The Tompkins Bank, that's to the bottom left corner, I guess to the south of the Panda Express. That has wall-mounted signage as well. That's that's of similar size. I don't have the exact dimensions of that wall signage. However, it has wall-mounted signage similar to what's proposed in the application. I would imagine for the same purpose, in order to identify what the building is if you're approaching the bank from either of the access points.
Do you know which sides of the building it's located on, that wall signage?
Yeah, it's actually on the non-street facing sides of the building. So if you're looking at the Tompkins Bank on page 2, there's the two of the 4 sides face the front of the streets. So you have the State Hill Road side as well as the Berkshire Boulevard sides. Those are the street facing sides of the building. However, the non-street side, street facing sides of the building, those are the facades that have the Tompkins Bank wall-mounted signs located.
And then what about the other user in the out parcel area?
The other remaining user is the Taco Bell. That has wall-mounted signage on 3 of the 4 sides as well, and that's going to be the Taco Bell logo with the Taco Bell text channel letters.
Okay, and again, that Taco Bell has a similar situation as the Panda Express, correct, in terms of wayfinding?
That's correct. Yes, I mean they have a drive-through component where they have the order canopy that has a maximum vehicle height. So they have a clearance bar. They have directional wayfinding, and for the same reasons that I explained for the other drive-through uses, they have the wall-mounted logos and channel letters for directional wayfinding for anybody coming into the center or circulating through the center, just so they can easily identify the Taco Bell and separate it from the other drive-through uses.
Okay, if I can just ask a couple of questions.
Sure.
So on the bank, let's talk about that. You said that the wall signs are on the non-street sides. So if I'm looking at A2, page 2, you're talking about the one that would be then facing the Burger King and the one facing Taco Bell, is that correct?
That's correct.
Do they have no signage on facing State Hill Road or Berkshire Boulevard?
I don't recall.
Is there a pylon sign at the entrance to this particular, or a pylon or some other type of sign that has all the different stores that are listed in the shopping center?
I don't have that information.
Okay,
There is a pylon sign.
Is Panda Express expecting or going to be placing a sign onto that sign as well, do you know?
That's not in our That's not in our package.
Okay, now, just for the record again, I know you were sworn.
Right.
Billy Newton.
Excuse me?
Billy Newton?
Thank you.
Yep.
So, I guess to you, Mr. Newton, then, while not in the package now, is that something that if is offered, you would be taking up, putting the sign there as well?
Not that I'm aware of, sir. Usually this package that they're showing is relatively complete with what we figured out, unless there's something in the lease that I didn't know about.
Not to our knowledge, I.
And on the Taco Bell, you said there's 3 sides that have signage, but not a 4th side. Which side does not have the signage?
The side that faces Berkshire Boulevard.
And that's where the drive-through is.
Yes, that's correct.
Situationally, Ryan, ours is a little different. Panda Express is more inset into the shopping center, right?
That's correct. Yeah, and just the general circulation, on all sides of the building. So it's not just if you look at the Taco Bell, not the bag of Burger King, one of the sides of their building is purely parking, and it's just really grass. That grass buffer between State Hill Road and Berkshire Boulevard. Whereas the Pan Express, is really surrounded on all sides by active circulation areas. So which makes directional wayfinding, circulation, that much more of a heightened sensitivity to it, and more of a warrant for signage.
Questions?
D2. What is the purpose of D2?
So we're looking at,
On page 3, site plan.
Exhibit A to the sign features.
So that's the order point. So that's where the speaker is, and then there's going to be a canopy. So when you're ordering your food, you have a covered area, so if it's you're protected from the elements, and it's just going to have the brand identification as well as the order the order here designation that's attached to the side of the D2.
As a drive-in, what does it cover?
I'm sorry.
As a drive-in, so what does it cover? The sign?
The person who's ordering the food. So if you pull up, if you have your driver's side window open, and it's snowing or raining, you want to be under cover so that you can order your food.
In the off chance you were leaning out your window.
Yeah, it's common for drive-through facilities to really just have refuge from the elements. It's just a standard practice in today's marketplace.
If you go to, we have the whole sign package there. If we go to, which sheet is this? This is the 9th one of the PDF. There you go. So, and I guess we should make this exhibit A3.
Yeah.
It's the sign package that was submitted with the application. It has a better rendering of the order sign area with the overhang to provide shelter.
Obviously, you have to leave out of your car.
I was thinking this is.
Oh, we want to go to the parking lot, it's very
Everybody good? Okay. Anything more, Mr. Davis?
No, I do not, just a request to move for the admission of the exhibits, A1 through now A3.
So moved.
Right, thank you.
Let's do our side of the legal spectrum.
Okay, so as we've done in the past, we now would go over to the legal housekeeping piece of the hearing today. Michelle Bear has been sworn. Michelle, in your capacity as the secretary for the zoning hearing board, do you have any documents that you'd like to present today?
I do. I prepared a public notice that was advertised in the Reading Eagle on June 28th and July 5th of 2021. That same notice was mailed to all adjacent property owners within 300 feet of the subject parcel on June 23rd, 2021 at approximately 8:15 a.m. and was also posted on the subject property on June 24th of 2021 at approximately 10 a.m.
Do you have copies of the documents with you today?
I do.
And mark those as for exhibit number 2. And we'll move them into the record. Now, Michelle, are you, for purposes of this application, are you the zoning officer that was reviewing the plans?
I am, yes.
In that capacity as a zoning officer, what are your duties and responsibilities?
I prepared a memo to the zoning hearing board dated July 1st of 2021 summarizing the application and the relief requested.
Do you have a copy of that memorandum as well?
I do.
Is that the memorandum that was read into the record earlier?
Yes.
We'll mark it as for exhibit number 2 for the record. Do you, as the zoning officer or the zoning hearing board secretary, do you have any other information that you'd like to present to the board this afternoon?
I do not.
And Michelle, one final matter, what is the zoning ordinance that is in place at the time of this hearing?
The one that was printed November of 2018.
We'll move for that, well, actually, I did it as an exhibit, but not move for its admission. You have anything further, Michelle?
I do not.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything further, unless you want to see if there's any public comment.
No, I have nothing further. Is there any public comment?
Just a quick question,
Your
are
name,
these,
your name,
Adrian J,
spell that.
Jadic. Are these documents available through Right to Know?
That's something, Mr. Jadik, that you would take up with the borough solicitor.
I understand, it's just that sometimes there is some copyright
So you
issues
take it up with the
and
borough
we,
solicitor.
okay,
Okay. That's all we have. Then we'll recess and see if we can't come to a conclusion.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay.
And we'd ask-
You want us to wait in the hall?
Yeah, we'd ask everybody to kind of to move out.
Is that where you asked me to get out now?
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you, we'll be right back.
Find a non-Penn State engineer.
Non-Penn State engineer.
Just kidding.
It's too late.
That dog's already gone,
Point C, point 5, point C, point 6, signs for borough-wide listing zoning requirements. Be granted, subject to conditions be placed on the record by our solicitor.
There are standard conditions, comply with all testimony that's been presented today, comply with all rules, regulations, ordinances that may be in effect, obtain and pay for all permits, and commence work within 1 year of the application, or decision.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Right, the walls covered with pandas.
Pogos.
Pogos.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Meeting is
Very much.
What do you say, go thither and put it back, without sign.
What's your timeline?
Billy,
What's that?
what's the timeline for construction?
The timeline, they normally take us about, for a pad site like this, anywhere from 95 to 110 days. And then we'll let operations have 3 or 4 days, and then they open up from there. Obviously, we have to get a permit and go through all the other motions to get our plans tidied up. We've already finished our permit set of drawings, and I'll be reviewing those with the architects in the next week.
Looking after Labor Day.
Yeah, it will be.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be.
95 to 110 days normal.
Yeah, that's
Now,
one.
now, this is not normal for constructing anything.
You know, I run across places where they say that, and we go fast, and then I run across places where it's supposed to be just easy as pie, and then it takes us 5 months. So,
Materials haven't been an issue?
oh, they have been. We've struggled with a lot of things. Just to get it wall insulation right now is tough.
Yeah.
You know, so there's, I go through that on a day. In fact, I was up at 4:30 this morning working on purchase orders and things like that with guys for alternates on materials that we could submit to our staff just to get approved because some things are not available. So, yeah, we're gonna do our best, though. We'll have a panda there, and it'll be one we're proud of, so.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Again, everyone, good to see you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care, thanks.
Let us know.
Yeah, that's right.
Open shut?
Yeah, oh,
Oh.
yeah. Okay.
37 Red Bull